Okay, good afternoon. We're back with the Technics SL-B35 from a week or so ago. I needed a belt for it. I used a makeshift belt that I figured was not the right one for it, and of course I was right that it wasn't the right one for it. But I got one that's compatible that should be fine. And watching this strobe here. Oops. I think it wants to shut off. Must have pushed the button. And it needs to be level. But I cannot get the speeds to run right. For 60 Hertz, I'm supposed to have the strobe stopped at 45, which is the second band from the bottom. I can't get that to come into focus at all. The top band, which is 45 at 50 Hertz, when I run this at the slowest speed possible, it almost kind of comes into focus, and then that's 33, excuse me, 33, I can't get in on the band at all. It appears to be running too slow for 33, but that doesn't look like it. See, that doesn't look right. That looks about right. Visually, it looks about right. But this is working like doo-doo. So we go to 45. Again, we're supposed to be looking at the bottom two bands, and it just isn't doing what it's supposed to do. So it either means our light isn't flashing at the right clip, or that the speed actually is off. I'm more leaning to the fact that it's, that probably got a dirty speed adjuster or whatever, because there's a pot here to kind of tweak speed, and I see a missed piece of belt here. I missed apparently. Let's take the platter and the belt off. Here's some old belt I forgot to take out of there. Isn't that lovely? A couple of shards of old belt. So I don't see any adjusters on the top. Oh yes, there's two pinholes right down there. See those two? There's two pinholes right there. And usually they put some kind of adjustment in there. And again, I'm kind of doing this just off the gut feeling right now. Oh yeah, there's two slotted adjusters there. So I'm going to go off my gut and say that those are probably what needs to be dealt with, just from seeing previous other turntables. If it doesn't get the job done, then I will go get the service manual. There's a website called Vinyl Engine, which is great. They have lots of information about turntables and lots of service manuals and owner's manuals, which are great. Like that site a lot, but we're going to try to avoid having to use it unless we have to. So I don't know what either of those two do, but I'm going to guess that that's probably 33 and the other one's 45. Let me see if is this screwdriver small enough, or is this too wide to turn that? That looks like it'll turn that. So it seems like no matter what I do, 33 is always running too fast. Let's just give that a little tweak and turn it down a bit. Let's see if that had any effect on our turntable at all. Okay, so now when I have the speed at maximum for 33, I'm getting close. So let's tweak that again a little bit. Let's go the other way, see if it makes it better or worse. Let's just give it a significant turn. It seems to have, I think that actually made it worse. Let's just keep going in that direction and see what happens. Alright, that's all the way over to one side, can't go any farther. And that has, I think, made it significantly worse. So let's go this way. All the way. See if that had any effect. Nope, this doesn't have any effect on the 33 speed, so maybe it's the other one. Maybe I'm fiddling with the 45 pot. I'm doing this based on some other tables that I've worked on and just counting on a few similarities. And again, what's the worst that's going to happen? I got a broken turntable here and it needs to be fixed. So let's go all the way, well, let's go all the way clockwise and let's see what happens. All the way clockwise has more or less solved the problem. When I am in the slowest position, I can get her to synchronize up. So that is the 33 adjustment pot, I am fairly certain. I should probably put a little spray cleaner on that, maybe, if it's finicky. These little trim pots usually don't have to do anything to them. Let's just crank it all the way back and forth a few times. See if that makes any positive difference. It seems to be real close. Okay, let's see if the other pot deals with 45, because I may just be cleaning these and calling it a day. Oh yes, I can get 45 to come into focus now. That looks good there on the scope, or on the little strobomatic thingamajig. Yep, so one seems to affect the other a little bit, but now at least I can get them to both come into focus. There's 33 looking okay. Let's try 45. Have to speed it up a little bit to bring 45 into focus. So I think we're getting close. I'm going to twiddle with these and just see how they interrelate a little bit. Maybe I can tell you more. Okay, so here's what I've learned. These two are not interactive, meaning that when you adjust one, it doesn't really affect the other. The one further from me, the one closer to the motor, is the trim pot for 33, and the trim pot that is, kind of recessed and back this way a little bit more is for 45. I set one of the two to an acceptable range. The 45 ended up kind of at the top of its range, and it didn't end up right in the middle of the pitch wheel where I was really trying to get it, but it's not mission critical. I mean, we want to hit the right speed. So I got that set to where it was good, and I had more playroom with the 33, so after getting the 45 set, I came back and set the 33 so it roughly matches where the 45's at. So if I set 33 here and then I flip to 45, we're right on the money. So 45 is pretty close to dead on, and then 33 is close to dead on. Let's see if I can zoom in. I have no idea if y'all will be able to see that or not. Let's just try to get in here with the camera. Everybody's like, yay. Okay, so zoom. Here we go. So we're on 33. Looks like the bottom wheel is pretty much stopped. Then we'll flip to 45. We should be looking at the wheel just above that, and that one looks pretty good. So if we need to make any adjustments, they'll be real minor from one to the other, and probably close enough that you won't be really tweaking it as you change from record to record. So that's great. Now I'm going to clean the dirt off of this thing, and then once we clean the dirt off, I'll check the tracking force and the tracking weight and all of that stuff, which is probably, I would guess it's in ballpark, but with these systems, sometimes, you know, the pots either get dirty or the motors drift or whatever. I got a 70s era Fisher where you would adjust the 33 and 45 on 2 pots over here, and those pots were dirty and scratchy, and it was just jumpy, just a mess. And pot cleaner solved it. So this one, they seem to hold pretty stable. I don't know why the world they were out of whack. We'll just say maybe some resistance or resistor values drifted after being, you know, 30 years old. Whatever, we'll clean the dirt off of it and keep testing it. Okay, so polka music be damned. I'm just going to enjoy this thing. I got it hooked back up. The cartridge tracks at about 1.5 grams, which is dynamite. As long as it tracks well there, that's fine. I mean, I'm willing to put it up to 2 grams, 2.5 grams worst. Anti-skate only needed a slight adjustment, and we should be ready to play. So let's watch it do its magic here. Okay, so that was good. Obviously I jump cut. I didn't feel like playing you the whole record, but we'll watch it cancel here. This one can auto detect 7-inch or 12-inch records. The cartridge has, you know, nice range. It's got real good bass to it. It's, you know, I can hear everything well. I mean, it seems like a nice full range cartridge. It's an Ortophon. I don't know what model. Let me see if I can tell from the side. TM, Ortophon TM, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. So there you go. It's all fixed. Just need a little bit of tweaking and a bath. And I had to make the cables, which is in the previous video. If you're curious about tracking force and anti-skate adjustments, they kind of work the same on most turntables, so you can look at some other turntable setup videos. Yeah, so the channel's been a little quiet because I haven't had a ton of electronical stuff to work on, but that's okay. I still have been hitting the auction circuit as an unsponsored YouTube channel. The things that we work on in the shop are things that I find at auctions, and sometimes I find electronics and sometimes I find other things. And we'll look at another thing I found in 2 seconds. So that's what we got at the last auction. It has absolutely nothing to do with electronics, but it's fun. And it's old school and it's mechanical and it runs on gravity. And it has a music box and it has dancing people and whatever. It's fun, it's silly, I like it. Hooray! So I think I will probably play around with this turntable and enjoy it for a little while, and then it will go up for sale. So if anybody is really eager to get your hands on this particular Technics turntable, it is a fantastic turntable, and it'll probably show up on my Reverb store, and then maybe Craigslist if it's not excitable on Reverb. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.